Make a little bit of noise if you're feeling okay on a Saturday. Heck yeah. We're called Shake Your Hands. We're playing here tonight, but we wanted to have our buddies, the Beatnik Christian Sparks and the Beatnik Bandits, open up the show for us. So without further ado, y'all say hello to Christian Sparks and the Beatnik Bandits.
We went to San Francisco. It was a good time in my life. So I put it in a song, share it with you guys. This one's called I'm Gonna Rock.
My name's Christian Sparks. I'm in a band called Christian Sparks and the Beatnik Bandits. I play rhythm guitar and sing. We got Hunter Langton on the drum set, and we got Sam on guitar. Well, I met Hunter when we were probably both 13 or 14, I think. And we started a band and blah, blah, blah. It didn't work out. But years passed. Me and Hunter had lost contact. My brother passed away at one point. It made it really hard for me to live in my hometown. And also I just wanted to get away because the music wasn't there for me necessarily. It wasn't the place that I felt like I could get the most recognition. But my parents were cool enough to basically support me, and they're like, you know what, we want you to pursue this. My dad was about to retire. He retired and we hit the road in a couple of RVs. Hunter called me and he was like, well, I'm going to school out in San Marcos right now. I'm like, San Marcos? He's like, yeah, where are you? I'm like, well, I'm out in Canyon Lake. He's like, okay, that's not far from me at all. And we got together. I showed him a couple songs I had been writing, and that was the first time we had played together in, I think, like 5 or 6 years. Eventually we met Maxwell Yee, and he heard a couple of our songs. He came up, he's like, I like that last song you played. He's like, it's pretty good. Who wrote that one? I'm like, I wrote that one. He's like, I want to get you in the studio, man. I'm like, sure. So I give him my number, and he hit us up like that next week or something. He's like, hey, I got you studio time booked at Firehouse in San Marcos. Our engineer, who was awesome at the time, and I didn't know him until I got to the studio. And now he's in the band as the guitarist. But Sam, and he's a cool guy, and he's an amazing guitar player. So that was something that I was like, yeah. Okay. It was like things were just kept falling in our laps, really. Once me and Hunter started playing music, you know, and being passionate about it, not trying to do it for money or do it for anything, really just playing it because we enjoyed it. And I think that's what it's all about. So after we got done recording at the studio, we decided that it was probably the best idea to probably get a photo for the cover, of course. We got a message on Instagram from a guy called Rixta Trixta, and he was pretty enthusiastic about meeting us and possibly doing a photo shoot. We went and did a shoot, and it didn't work. We're like, this isn't what we're going for, and he's like, yeah, I didn't really like it either. And then we actually set up some studio time in Austin. You know, none of us really knew what we were going for the album. But as Hunter's getting out of the car, he threw this bag over his shoulder, and he had all his stuff in there. And it just kind of, I was like, hey, that looks kind of cool, because he was all dressed up, and he had this black bag behind him. It kind of looked like you'd see in like a heist movie, like Ocean's 11 or something. He's like, yeah, I actually was thinking that might look cool if we did like a heist type photo or something at one point. I'm like, that's a great idea. And so it kind of just all happened on the spot. None of us thought it out very well. We just did it and it just worked. And we're like, this is the photo for the album.
Who wants to listen to this album?
So after we got the photos and we got everything together, we decided that it'd probably be best to have an album release party. We decided to do a family album release party. Mostly just family and friends and people that have just supported us. I couldn't be here without my family. I want to thank my mother. I want to thank my father. Thank you guys so much for being an inspiration to me and letting me pursue my music and do what I love. It was an amazing opportunity for me because I got to show people that had been supporting me, that hadn't been getting, they've been supporting me in all these days where I'm like, hey, I'm going to the studio, or hey, I'm going to do this, and they hadn't seen anything, any results from what I've been doing besides that I would just leave and come back, and then they'd see my shows and they're like, you're so good, and they'd support me in that way, but they hadn't actually got to hear the album. And just to be able to give something like, hey, this is what I've been working so hard on, and other people be like, yeah, we can tell you worked really hard on it. But at the same time, I really couldn't have done it by myself ever, and like that's why I feel so thankful for Maxwell Yee for helping us, Sam for engineering the whole thing. But I'm just so lucky that I have the people around me I do, and the amazing musicians like Hunter Lennington on the drum set, just like coming up with these beats that I don't understand, but they're just amazing, and I love it. And it was just a good moment because I finally got to do that thing that I've been waiting to do. Feels like my whole life. Because I've been playing since I was so young. I've always wanted to put out an album, and we were finally doing it, and it was just, I felt so special to have all those people that supported me.
She put tobacco on my bee sting. Da, 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 da. She makes me feel the shame. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
As long as you guys are listening, we're gonna keep making more music. So toast to you.